Okay.
Mom.
Who's the what?
This is
Who's the boss?
Tony Danza.
Yeah. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. I won't sing tonight.
I'm going to get that muted so I can see the chat for all of our fans that watch the show. So give me a second here. Chat. About chat.
I don't have my camera on though.
That's fine.
I'm having a bad face day.
I have a bad face day every day.
You're having a bad face day?
Yeah.
He didn't put his face on today, guys.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any makeup.
I still love your face.
Aww.
It's not killing me.
Yeah. And I'm folding Tony's underwear.
Glad that's on my stream.
My sexy, sexy underwear.
Yeah.
Tony who?
My wife, Tony.
Tony Danza?
Yeah, my wife, Tony Danza.
She's the boss.
She's the boss.
That's true.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
Damn straight.
Good thing you're folding my clothes.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's dessert.
Thank you.
And there's Danny's eating 1/4 of it.
Okay.
So he still gets another quarter.
Okay.
Oh, he finally muted.
Don't
I was
eat it
kind of
all.
curious to see what his son was eating.
Do you want to just cut me off some? Huh?
You said you
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, you guys had just
Yeah,
finished
we-
killing the
Cut you off
Hydra.
some
You just finished killing the
What?
2 baby
you want me to cut you off
dragons.
some brownie?
You
Yeah.
found
Maybe
the
pinch me off a little.
leftover bits
Little bit of that loaf.
presumably the Alpha team. You came back to base, and you went down to the barracks to rest because you were all kind of beat up and tired. Does that about seem like where we were?
I think so.
And get me another soda.
We
when you're
make
up
any money or gain
again.
any levels?
Yeah.
No and no.
Oh, doggy.
No, that's not
Doggy,
true.
follow me.
Yes and no.
Hey, girl.
Hold me closer, time.
You should be 6th at this point, Nate. And I don't know where you're at.
Oh,
I still haven't
where's
unpacked my
that
mouse, so
little kitty,
it's going to take me a little extra time over time.
Did everybody write down how many we each got?
So
I have 529.
I'm at 496.
I usually find a way to get a few extras.
and then you guys got that. That's right, because you sold some of the shields, and you gave that staff to Will, I think. Yeah. So
I'll be
if
right
you're-
back. I have to reboot my internet. It's acting like complete poop.
Okay. We'll give it a few minutes for Will to come back from having dessert and Chris to get restarted. So it sounds like you should have approximately 500-ish gold from the sale of a couple of magic items that you guys found. Oh, Nate, I think they gave you a shield. I think I added it to your character sheet and upped your armor class.
Oh, sweet. Let me check.
Yeah, you have a +1 shield down at the bottom of your items. Which brings your AC up to 19, which is kind of ridiculous.
Look at how awesome we are, Nate. And that was on top of the gold split. Like that was something that was given to you and there was no value taken out of your gold cut.
Yeah. Lucky bastard. Now you owe me a heal.
Paul, do you remember when you guys came back into town this time, this most recent time? Did I have you make a wisdom
Yes.
save?
I rolled a natural one.
Okay, yep, I thought so. Okay.
So I just noticed that I was hitting the 1 key for the last minute instead of the tilde to talk. You guys are usually awesome, is what I said. So thank you for the gear. If anybody wants or can use it better than me, because I have tried to hit 3 things in my life, and I have missed all 3 times.
What is it?
The +1 Warhammer.
Sell it.
Well, I don't want to sell it. You guys gave it to me, but
Well, if you don't think you'll use it, we'd rather have the money.
I will use it. I will just use it poorly.
Use it poorly.
I think everybody else already has what they're using. I think Paul's using them all because he can use it two-handed. And
Yeah,
Probably
I mean,
use Warhammer two-handed or one-handed.
I think that +1 weapon came from Bob, if I'm not mistaken.
oh yeah, give you 2 +1 items.
I guess that means I have to keep healing you fools.
Indeed. Okay, so you guys wake up down in the barracks. Everything is kosher. I don't know if anybody wanted to do anything during that night. I know Ryan and Kevin did a couple of things that evening.
Things.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're missing hit points or whatever, go ahead and reset yourself to where you should be. And then day is yours.
But I don't see health bars on the same people we didn't see before. Bill, Chris, Will, Paul.
All right, got my internet back up, going back into Roll20.
Well, you can talk and figure out what you're doing while I fix that.
So I guess we'll go back to Lenny or whatever his name is, Jose, and ask if he has anything else for us.
Okay, that sounds good. If you look at the bottom of the screen where you guys are all lined up under your horses, do you see all the bars there?
Nope. Same people I don't see him on. Bill, Chris, Daniel, Paul, and Julio.
What are you looking for? Health bars?
Yeah.
On the bottom, but under the horses, I see them on Megan, me, and I think that's Nate. Nate, the redheaded dwarf.
Bearded dwarf.
All right, I gotta fix my token grab sometime later. Whatever.
Also, Lay.
Oh no, right in the bearded dwarf. I'm not going to tell you what I call the bearded dwarf.
I think maybe I fixed them on this tab. So let me just test something real quick.
Is it your toe, Kevin? Is
If
that what
you,
you?
if you look at the group of you in the hallway,
Yep, everybody's got bars.
all right, I'm gonna delete all these extras.
Ooh, that was scary.
All right. Anyways, now it's fixed on the map, so I don't have to worry about that. And if I ever get confused again, remind me it's the first tab that's got all the good stuff on it. The right ones. All right. So someone was mentioning about going and talking to Jose, and I don't know if anyone else was making any other plans or mentions.
Hey, gang, what do you think about going and talking to Jose and seeing if there's any other work available for us now that we're alpha level badasses?
Well, technically, you're not alpha level yet because you haven't even gone to talk to him since you've been back.
Hey, what do you say we go talk to Jose and give him Alpha Team's badges?
Makes
these bones.
sense to me.
Let's do it.
So you guys saunter upstairs into the main area of the guardhouse of Neffin.
I sashay.
You guys come out of the room. They've got the fire going, and Jose is standing near the desk with the clerk. They're drinking some coffee. It's fairly early in the morning. The main doors to the place are actually shut because they haven't opened them up yet for the day. As you guys come out of the stairwell, out of the side panel from the stairwell, Jose and the clerk look over to you and he'll go, welcome back, guys.
Well, hello, Jose.
So, what all did you find out?
Well, unfortunately, I think I hand him the Alpha Team communicator thing that I have. We found 4 of these that we were able to recover, or 5 of these that we were able to recover, and this. I set the bag of bones down.
He kind of looks at everything, and like the bag, when you just sit it on the ground, the top just kind of falls open a little bit, so you can kind of just visibly see what's in it. He doesn't pick it up. He just kind of looks in the bag, and like you can see his face just kind of drop in. I guess sorrow would be a good way to put it. He's not like totally sad, but he's kind of bummed about it. I mean, when you work in a guardhouse, you got to kind of sort of keep your emotional distance to your hirees, but he's not happy about it. It's unfortunate, and that's kind of what I'm not going to make you do an insight check, but if you would have done a good insight check, that's kind of what you would have picked up from his expressions. Well, this would explain why they stopped talking to me. What happened to them? What happened?
We went into the lair, the cave. We tracked them to a cave, and we found a cage that we believe was the cage that we saw Benadryl take. Xanthindril. Xanthindril.
I would be afraid of a dragon named Benadryl.
Whatever his name was, Vaxadril.
There you go.
Vexadril.
I think it was Gardasil.
We saw him take from the lizardman camp where we first encountered him. We found probably all of the bodies from that cage strewn about. There were several rust monsters all over the place that we dispatched. And there were 2 young black dragons. And we dispatched them as well.
Young black dragons and rust monsters. I mean, I guess they might use rust monsters to help weed out the mundane equipment. Dragons are generally kind of vain collectors. And Kevin, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Thank you.
Rona.
Yeah, it's the Rona. So, you make a perception check, Nate. You didn't think so? So, man, so they might. I mean, rust monsters, dragons are vain collectors, and sometimes they throw out the mundane. So I guess it would make sense that rust monsters might congregate near their lairs because there'll be a lot of discarded metals for them to eat on. So I guess I sort of understand that relationship there. And you said you dispatched two young dragons?
Or babies, I don't know. I'm not a wildlife expert. They were I think this was their hatchery, and they had hatched.
What about Vexadril herself?
Well, she wasn't around, but on our way out, our mission, as I understood it, was to find out what happened to Alpha Team.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sad about this. I'm just gathering information.
So on our way out, after learning what happened to Alpha Team, we did hear some rustling, but one of our team members saw. I can't remember what you told me you saw, Megan.
A yellow goopy thing.
A yellow goopy thing.
Yellow goopy thing. I see. So, okay. Vexadril is still alive. Vexadril's possible children are not. The Alpha Team is not, and I guess this makes sense as to why she was gathering people from the Lizardmen, because she was probably using those people to feed and train her young.
Yep.
I mean, Alpha Team may not have been as alpha as they claim to be. They might have been more bark than bite. Well, congratulations. You guys have just been promoted through mortality.
Klingon style.
It's my favorite kind of promotion.
Come with me into the office. We have a few things to discuss.
Means we get a pay.
Huh?
That means we're going to get a pay raise, right?
Yes.
You're worst finest man ever.
Retroactive? I mean, we should get it retroactive to when the previous Alpha team was no longer in existence.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to carbon date them?
Well, at least our last mission, they weren't still around. They were pretty smelly when we found them. I mean, I'm a cleric. I know this shit.
He walks into his office while you're talking. And yeah, you are. Okay. Julia probably shouldn't be. Okay, so he goes into the side office. Kevin follows him there. And he goes, okay. Hi, Fabio. Hope you're enjoying the game. So he pulls out the crate, a different crate from under his desk, and you see him put the pins that you gave him, the 5 pins, into like a side panel of the chest, and he lifts up. Make a perception check, Kevin. He's not particularly being too sneaky. He lifts up like a false bottom in the chest that he has, and underneath it is a whole bunch more of these communication pins. I mean, Star Trek, essentially, if you think about it. But I haven't quite figured out what symbol the House of Neffen has yet.
What is Star Trek?
Exactly. And he grabs 10 of these pins out of the box, and he takes some ink and a quill, and he writes down a note. He kind of scribbles out a note, and he puts the pins in a pouch, and he hands you the note, and he hands you the pouch, and he says, "Okay, so if you take this pouch to Tony, he is down in the..." One moment.
Take this pouch to Tony down in the one moment.
He's down in the Golden Arch District at the Golden Ram. If you take this pouch and this note to him, what he's going to do is he'll imbue these badges. And these are better badges. They actually will allow you to communicate both directions with each other and myself. It's not mental communication. You do physically have to speak, so it's not like super stealthy mode, but you can talk as long as you're on the same plane of existence. I'm pretty sure it's going to work no matter where anybody is.
Sweet. Well, we'll take care of that. We'll get that done today.
Perfect. And he'll also give you something else, but I'll let him explain it when you get there. It's all in the note.
All right.
Once you get that from him, if you come back here, I've got to talk to some of my commanders, and I might potentially have another important task for you guys.
Sounds great. We'll let you know when we're all ready to go with the communicators.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Sorry it didn't turn out so well.
All right. I'm sure
All right.
we'll recruit. So he walks up and realizes he left that bag of bones, and he just looks at it on the ground and looks over at the clerk. Looks back at you, Nate. You want to do anything with these, or should I?
I lost them when I found them. They're now yours. Their souls have been passed on to good hands. So the bones are yours.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks. And he kind of bundles up the bone bag and walks back into his office with them again.
I give everybody their pins. Or no, I don't. Say, come on, everybody. We've got to go to the magical item store.
Yeah.
I found.
All right. You guys walk out of the guardhouse, and where are you going?
I'm going to take the gang to the Golden Ram.
Okay.
Let's go,
Okay.
gang.
You guys march on over to the Golden Ram. It's a pretty uneventful trip, and
Who doesn't want to go to the Golden Arches?
True.
it's a nice place. So you guys go. Yeah, it's the store's just barely opening because it is pretty early in the morning. You walk in, and you see the well dressed but kind of bulky human behind the counter that you remember from your dealings.
Tony!
Yo, sup?
I bring a small package from the house.
Yeah, you do.
Boom.
Oh, hey, you seen that Bob guy? He hasn't come by in a couple days.
Oh, we did give him some stuff. We sold him some stuff.
You sold him stuff?
Yeah.
That's my job, You working in the territory?
No, not really. I think we just had some stuff that you didn't have and he wanted.
What was it? Maybe I'll stock it up.
I don't know.
You don't know what you sold him.
It was a spoon.
Do not carry spoons. Anyway, what can I do you for?
I hand him the envelope and the letter.
And he opens it up. And he starts running his finger across. You can tell reading might not be his strongest suit. And like his finger goes back up again and starts over again. And like he looks into the bag and just kind of like counts things in the bag. All right. You give me 1 hour, I'll get you guys taken care of. He
Sounds great.
pulls up the bag and he puts it under his desk. And you see him like put his fingers up to his head and he closes his eyes for about 30 seconds or so. And then about 6 to 12 seconds later after that, this little creature kind of just apparates out of nowhere in like this little puff of smoke. And standing on his desk, there's maybe 2 foot tall, skinny little thing. And he gives the bag to him. And let's see. Give me 1 second. I got to check on something.
Very good.
Does anybody speak Sylvan?
I don't know what
Nope.
that is.
Negatory.
Nope.
Okay. He says something in a language that you guys don't understand, and gives this bag to this little creature. And this creature just takes off out the front door so fast that it almost looks like there's 2 or 3 of them in a line. I mean, he's moving like quick out the door. He goes, all right.
Was it a small creature?
It was a small creature.
Did the creature say anything back?
The creature did not say anything back. He just said something to the creature. He goes, all right. Those are being done. 1 hour. You'll be good. Hang on. And he turns around and he walks away from the counter. He goes into a side room. And he's in that room for maybe about a minute to a minute and a half. And he comes back out with his arms full of these other like leather pouches, essentially. And he lays them out on the desk. There's Jose must like you. You've been working with him for a while?
We have.
All right. Well, these are his private stash. They're pretty cool. And he opens up one bag on like the left side of his table, and he opens up a bag on the right side of his table, and he reaches under the desk and he grabs just like a dagger, and he puts the dagger in the bag on the left, and he walks over and reaches into the bag on the right and pulls out presumably the same dagger. He goes, these bags here, they're going to hold about 50 pounds worth of stuff. But the cool thing is, they're all linked to each other. So, this was in the note. So these bags are yours.
Do they hold 50 pounds individually or total?
Thank you, Chris.
It's a combined space of 50 pounds as far as you know. I mean, that's basically what it says. They will hold 50 pounds of material, but they act like a bag of holding. Essentially, you can reach into the bag and ask for whatever's in there, and it comes out. And so they're essentially 50 pounds of shared inventory space that the party has access to.
Oh, excellent. And as long as we're on the same plane, I guess it works.
As long as you're on the same plane of existence, it will work, yes. If you're separated by the planar gate, they can't communicate with each other.
All right.
But it's
Well,
the
that's
same 50 pounds or individual 50 pounds?
Total 50 pounds. But we can
Okay.
So I could toss in a healing potion, and you could be halfway around the world, and you would have immediate access to a healing potion, as long as you were monitoring it.
Right. He would have to know that the healing potion was there, but
Can they see what's in the inventory, or do they just have to ask and hope it's there?
it's like a bag of holding. You do not. The bag appears empty if you look inside it. You have to know that it's.
Sorry, thank you. I've never owned a bag of holding. In fact, I've rarely heard of them.
Are there only 2 of them, or is there one for each member?
There are essentially 10, I think. 9, 10 of them. One for everybody. However many people end up in the party, that's how many bags there magically are.
And what is this item called?
A shared bag of holding.
What if we leave one at the house? turned
Community
upside
sack.
The community sack.
If we left one at the house turned upside down,
Ryan's
so we
a
could
community
put stuff
sack.
in it to fall out.
No, you have to physically, You have to actually reach into the bag and ask for it.
If you just now, technically, I guess if you turn the bag inside out, if I'm not mistaken, all the material does dump out of the bag. I think that's how the bag of holdings work.
Yeah, you can dump the crap out, but you can't like see it or whatever, right? I think.
I think if you turn it inside out, all the contents get forcibly injected onto the ground. If that's not how it is in the book, that's how it is in my world.
That's how a regular bag of holding works.
Yeah, if a bag is turned inside out, its contents are spilled forth unharmed. But the bag must be put right back before it can be used again.
But if we just left one inside out,
Everything you put in would just fall onto the floor, and you wouldn't be able to pull anything back out of it.
well, that's true. But like, let's say we were adventuring and we had one bag back at the house turned inside out. Anything we put in the bag would just appear in our loft or our quarters.
Yes, but
That
then
doesn't seem very secure.
You also wouldn't be able to use it to share items because whatever you put in there would instantly fall out in your barracks.
So it means if anybody gets this thing stolen or lost, you better get all the shit out of it.
And you said this can hold 50 pounds, correct?
Yes.
So 1/10 of a bag of holding.
There's still a lot of advantages to that.
I just looked in the DMG. Well, it's like 5 things of rope.
I mean, 50 pounds is still a decent amount of weight. It's not built for everything. It's built to be utilitarian. I'm sure you guys will find clever
50
ways.
lengths of rope.
If we ever need a key to be in 2 places at once, we can almost do that now.
They are utilitarian, except we gave one to Bill, so when we really need it, we're going to open it up and there's going to be like 50 pounds of dirt or something.
If a bag is overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and is destroyed, and the contents are scattered into the astral plane.
Wow. Sounds rough.
If we lose one, everything is gone?
They act as a communal bag of holding. So if one of the bags gets torn, because they share the same space. They share the same extra dimensional space.
I think I tore my sack.
All right, Paul.
Why Paul?
Oh shit, we're streaming. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh.
I think first names are perfectly okay.
It was probably first and last.
Oh, I didn't hear last.
I didn't hear last either.
I think you're good. That must be your mind thinking.
Nathan Cock.
He was talking about our good friend, Paul Johnson.
Paul McCartney.
Cool.
I think you're cool.
Well, thank you.
Nobody else does.
So, yeah. Good luck with those things. If you see Bob, tell him I'm going to have some more sticks soon.
Well, don't we have to come back for our pins?
Yeah, in about an hour.
It's almost... Alright.
I don't want you
It's
hanging
crazy.
around.
It's
here
almost like
for
the
hours
person
and
who's
hours.
in control of this place Didn't realize that we had to leave and come back. Let's go.
You want to see her shoot the shit? We can sit and talk for an hour. What's new? How's the wife? How's the kids?
We're gonna go get breakfast.
You want some fish? Okay, breakfast. Good. Bring me back a coffee.
Breakfast.
Breakfast and a bag of coffee.
Get out of here.
I need a bag of spaghetti.
Leave.
He's kind of a rude salesman.
You guys leave the Golden Ram in search of breakfast.
Yeah, we'll go.
Did you say we just left the Golden Graham?
Ram.
It's a giant teddy
Those
bear.
Golden Grams, those are good.
We'll
Yeah.
just find the nearest tavern, not the Gypsy and Tankard.
There's the Merry Boar, which is a dwarven inn.
Well, there's
Maybe
got to be
about-
more than just those three.
Oh, there is. I'm just saying that's the one you know of. So, let me pull up my list. We'll see how many more taverns I got here.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
I like barbecue sauce.
What kind of sauce?
Parskle sauce.
Ice cream sauce?
Sorry. He likes barbecue sauce.
Oh, barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is good.
Yeah, it is.
You're teaching that kid right.
I hope there was no context with that and that was breaking news to you.
No, it was not breaking news. He's just explaining things to me randomly.
Like barbecue sauce?
I tried to feed. Okay, I tried to feed him. Okay, we got these little cheese sticks, and they're pepper jack. And I told him it's spicy cheese, and he's like, "I don't like the spicy cheese, but I like barbecue sauce." I'm like, okay, and then he kept talking for like another 2 minutes about stuff he likes.
Kids are great. So nearby, as you're looking for a good pub, you do see something that's got like a wooden sign out front that looks like a mug of ale or so, and it's built into a it's kind of built into a large tree, or the building is designed to look like a large tree. You're not really too sure which it is. I mean, I guess it's wood, so it'd be made of trees, irregardless. But it's a large 2-story building, and it's got because it's round-ish. Like think of like those trees out. I don't know if they're still there in California now or not because of all the fires. Sorry, anybody that lives in California, we feel for
Sorry.
you. The big redwoods. No, it's the redwoods, isn't it? That like
Yes.
the cars drive through.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought the sequoia trees were the great big fat ones.
It's
And
both. It's redwoods and sequoias. It's a mixed forest.
Sequoias are redwoods, but there are different varieties of redwoods. There's giant sequoia and sequoia are the two I'm familiar with, I think. Not terribly familiar.
There's a giant penis and a small penis.
So we're all right. That's an oddity when that happens. Yeah, and so there you see a couple of very affluent individual coming in and out of this bar.
So
We'll go
they
in there and get breakfast.
so they smell bad?
Yeah, something like that. All right. So as you guys enter the inside, like I said, it's a round building. There is a stairwell that goes up to a second story. You can't see this. It's like it starts on the side and kind of spirals up the whole circumference of the circle, but it stops at like a flap, a cutout opening, so you can't see into the second level. Like there's just what you imagine would be like a rectangle cut out of the floor above, where you'd only be able to see it if you went up there. Does that make sense?
Nope.
Okay, so you have the big giant interior room that's probably like 50 feet across. Okay, and it's circular or mostly circular. It's not perfect. And then all around the circumference is a staircase that goes up and swirls around up about 20 feet or so. I guess that doesn't make sense because it was 50 feet around. But it goes up one of the walls, and it just goes along the side of the wall to a second level. But the second level, like there's a full ceiling above you, except at the top of the stairs, it looks like the stairs just kind of ascend into the next level. So there's not like a door at the top of the stairs. It just kind of walks up onto the floor above you. But you can't really see it because of the angle of the stairs, unless you'd have to be climbing the stairs to see up into the second level. Does that make it a little...
So that's where they're serving food up on the second floor?
No, okay. I'm sorry. I was just explaining the floor plan. There are benches and chairs down on the first floor. There is a full bar, and there are several well-to-do looking individuals down on this floor. Once you walk through the door, you definitely get hit with the scent of smoked meats and fresh fruits and baked breads. Like, you know, this is definitely a good place to eat.
All right. We'll find a table.
Okay. You walk up. You sit down at one of the tables, and the table is basically two tower shields covered in like a lacquer. So like you're basically eating on top of a tower shield essentially, but it's not, it's covered in a lacquer. And a gentleman walks over to you, to your table. Goes, welcome to the Shield Home.
Nice.
Looking for a place to stay?
We're looking for breakfast.
Good, excellent. What's your pleasure?
Meat and bread.
Yes, sir. And he turns around and kind of walks away. And about 10 minutes later, another person comes out with a tray of a giant loaf of bread, maybe like 3 feet long, and sets it in the middle of the table, and then puts out this spread of meats out in front of you guys. I mean, it is a feast. It's there's lamb, there's beef, there's
pancake.
Who knows, some sort of unidentifiable meat that's kind of shredded.
Waffles?
What is a waffle, sir?
Oh no.
Tell me what it is. I'll have someone make it.
No, don't worry about it. I do really want
take a
it.
taste of the unidentifiable meat.
He goes, make a note. Research waffles. And a guy right down real quick and kind of walks to the back. All right, you taste the unidentifiable meat. It's kind of stringy, but very, very tangy. It's a very interesting flavor.
I cast identify on the meat.
I think that only works for magical items. The meat is not magical.
That's not what your mom said.
Says who?
This is good meat, guys. You should try some.
I would dig in.
All right, you guys dig in, you feast, you eat, you take your bread, you take your meat, you make sandwiches, you just devour everything that's been put in front of you. This is probably one of the best meals you've had in a very long time. And
I wonder if this is dragon.
the lady and gentleman that came and brought out the food, they're constantly replacing plates with clean plates, and they're picking up the meat and they're picking up the breads, and anytime you start to run low on anything, they're bringing out more of it, essentially.
Well, we're done. Just breakfast.
All right, you guys finish eating after a couple of rounds of meats and breads, and the guy, the rogue gentleman, comes back over and he goes, did you enjoy? It looks like you enjoyed your meals. Is there anything we could have done better to enhance your dining experience?
You could have labeled the meats.
That one was beef. That one was chicken. That one was basilisk.
Told you guys it was basilisk.
I thought so.
I'm guessing that was the unidentified meat.
Yeah, the unidentified meat was basilisk meat.
Better inside me than looking at me.
Ah, yes, they're hard. They're difficult to prepare.
That's what she said.
Lots of cooks don't make that quite right. That'll be six gold, please.
I thought this was gonna be like.
I got it. I'll pay for it.
All right.
This was on the house.
Thank you.
No, it was in the treehouse.
Oh,
You come back. Tell people of the Shield Home. This is a great place with good stories and nice people.
And lots of shields.
What about the story then?
Lots of. What? I'm sorry. What was that? Good sir.
Tell us the story then.
Well, what you're sitting down here, he kind of pulls up a chair and he points to the two shields that are in front of you. He goes, this one was, and he kind of wipes off some of the discarded meats and stuff because I haven't cleaned the table yet. He goes, this one belonged to Sir Galliard and his partner. Looks like that was Lady Trexler. Galliard and Trexler. He opens up a book and flips through. He goes, these people met a terrible fate. Galliard and Trexler, they looks like they were out trying to make a name for themselves for the king, and they went to slay a dragon by the name of Namazuma, and Namazuma appeared to have got the best of them. And they had one other compatriot who's not named in the books that apparently was able to salvage only their shields. And he brought the shields back to the king, and I purchased them from the king to make this table in their honor, because anyone who is willing to attempt to slay a dragon deserves a little bit of respect in my book.
What color dragon were they trying to slay?
Flips a couple pages further. That would be.
He was an orange dragon. It was a cyan dragon.
Be the red imposter. I mean, that would be the. It looks like Namazuma is listed here as a Dracolich. So he was an undead dragon that these guys were after.
Dracula.
Anybody ever encounter a Draculich?
I mean, I'm sure there are several people.
I'm asking the party.
Oh, sorry.
Not today.
No.
A Dracula.
I am still alive, so no.
Well, that sounds like something we'll have to fight sometime.
Rape, murder, war. They all
If
have
you do,
one in common.
Make sure
Men.
you come back and give me the
Aggression,
story,
violence, ambition.
because I enjoy stories.
We'll be sure to do that. What's your name?
I am Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah.
And this is Joshua's tree.
This is the Shield Home.
They only play U2 in here.
Joshua. I think we're going to be called at the Joshua tree from now on. It's where you go if you want to get Octung, baby.
We can get you some ox tongue. Would you like some ox tongue?
No, we're good. We're good. Thank you.
All right. Well,
We appreciate your hospitality.
I appreciate your patronage.
Just out of curiosity, you said you had rooms to let. How much are your rooms per evening?
I just want to be clear.
What was that, Nate?
I just want to be clear. I'm a man of means, but by no means man of the road.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of depends on how many we have left, but standard room nights, unless there's something exciting going on in the city, goes for about 30 gold a room per night.
Thank you.
That includes meals.
We appreciate the information.
Yes, sir.
Who
are you?
Who are we?
Yeah. It's a fair question.
We are, I guess, known by the House of Nephin as the Wreckin crew.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, Wreckin crew, it was my pleasure to serve you breakfast.
Has it been about an hour? Or
Yeah.
more?
Oh, it's been a little more than an hour, yeah.
All right. Well, we have an appointment to keep, so we won't
Oh,
keep
by
you
all,
waiting.
he kind of waves off and waves some people over, and they come and clean up and polish the table real good after you guys are walking out of the building.
Not going there again.
And you guys head back over to the Golden Ram. And Tony's inside. He goes, I see you back.
Indeed.
He pulls out a bag and sets them on the desk. He goes, here's your things. They're all ready for you.
Well, thank you.
They're pretty nifty. Yeah. You tell Jose that Tony appreciates his business.
We will do. Everybody take a pen. Hand them out.
All right. You guys can call that whatever you want to call that. Communicator pin, two-way pin.
Computer.
Something that you guys are going to know what it is when you see it.
I activate my comm pin, and I say, Javier, Julio, Juan. What's this guy's name?
Jose.
Jose.
I thought it was Enrique, but okay.
Rose, yeah.
That's not yours.
That's not mine.
Coming back to you. Ferd. Yes, sir.
We are set and ready to go. Thank you for the community sack.
Thank you for your service to the House of Neffen. There's one more part to that. I'll show you when you guys get back.
Oh, we're heading that way. I guess we're going back.
Wonderful. So you guys head back into the Neffen guardhouse. And Jose's not necessarily waiting for you by the door, but he's out in the foyer because he knew you guys were coming. He goes, all right. So, one more thing. If you go down to your barracks, you're going to notice that there is a chest against the wall. That chest is your extra dimensional space. So anything you put in these bags ends up in that chest, and anything you put in that chest you get in and out of these bags.
Excellent.
The chest looks bigger than it is. It only holds 50 pounds worth of stuff. But because of the enchantments and the extra dimensional space, it just has to be bulkier than... It's smaller on the inside than the outside, which is normally the opposite of how magical things work. I didn't make it. It's just how it is.
All right. Well, thank you. That's awful nifty.
Yeah. So, you remember how we were talking about potions and finding crafting ingredients and things like that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, our scholars were doing some research, and it looks like a lot of the herbs and such that are needed to make some good healing potions and ailment curing salves and things like that, a lot of the ingredients are much more plentiful in a place called the Feywild. So I'm hoping that, given your resourcefulness, that you may be able to find a way to get there and see if this is true.
Do you have any information on how one would begin a journey to the Feywild?
I do not. This is kind of why...
know of anybody that you might ask if you were asked to go to the Feywild?
I've never put much thought into it. Potentially, I'd start at some sort of like an Arcanum library or something, possibly.
I think I have. Are you familiar with a wizard who appears to have been in town for some time named Bob?
The Wizard of Bob?
No.
You're not familiar with Bob?
I've not met Bob the Wizard. Where... he walks up to the clerk. Hey, Bob the Wizard ever applied here? Bob who? Do you know Bob's surname by chance? For
The wizard.
It's probably Stick.
is he human?
What was he? Was he an elf? I'm sure I remember. I just didn't actually see him, Chuck.
No, I don't know if I ever wrote it down. I'm gonna say he's human.
I describe how he dresses and tell him that he's human.
Give me 1 second. I'm making some quick notes.
Okay, Tony.
No, I don't see a human Bob wizard anywhere on the roster.
Might have seen him flying around on a spoon.
Flying on a spoon.
Now, of all the shit that you've dealt with, why are you acting like that one? It's not believable. We just fought dragons.
I didn't say it was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen someone fly on a spoon.
Yeah, well,
how would you know? Do you stand on the spoon?
If you were trying to get to the Feywild and you knew a guy that flew around on a wooden spoon, wouldn't you ask him first?
So Bob flies on a wooden spoon.
Maybe.
Yes, I think a man flying on a wooden spoon potentially would know information about the Feywild.
Well, I feel like we're just one of those days where we just keep retracing our tracks, but we'll figure it out and we'll let you know when we find a way to get there, and we'll what are we I apologize, Chuck. What are we collecting? Stuff to make potions?
Yes, you're supposed to find out if there's a bountiful amount of ingredients to make healing salves and potions.
Do we have a list of specifically what they're looking for and like information on what it looks like?
Not yet. You haven't requested that.
We do need a list that's a little more precise with better descriptions of what we should be looking for, as none of us are adept at creating potions.
Well, okay. Let's see. Who would have this information? Because I'm sorry, I get some of this handed down to me as well. I don't know everything myself either. There is an apothecary. What is the apothecary's name?
Larry the apothecary.
There's an apothecary. Her name is Charlene. She works over at the Bubbling Cauldron.
And we know where that is.
Yeah, he tells you where it is.
Okay.
I have to build it still, but yeah.
All right. Well,
she'll probably know how to make healing potions and stuff, so I'll probably tell you exactly what to look for.
What do you want to do, team?
Something cool.
What's the most violent possible solution?
Let's kill this guy.
What's your guys' next move?
Anybody?
What?
Is there a library here in town?
There's some libraries near the keep in the center walls. There are a few repositories of knowledge.
We could always do some research on the Feywild, or even on powerful wizards of Nephin.
Well, why don't we split up?
Continent.
Why don't the more bookish among us go do research, and the less bookish go to the cauldron to get our list of ingredients?
Well, I'm definitely not bookish.
I'm only sexy.
That works for me. I am bookish.
I can read.
I am not too bookish.
Books are tasty.
Who has halfway decent intelligence scores?
Mine's +2.
I do.
Bill's
So-
the smartest among us.
Bill and Chris and Nate.
We truly are doomed.
I'm not bookish. I have a 0 intel bonus.
Well, that's all right. You can go too.
You can go to what?
The library.
Oh,
So I think that's how we'll divide.
Ryan,
up.
what's your intelligence?
-1.
Megan, what's yours?
It's a 3.
Oh, Megan needs to go.
She's smarter than me.
Okay.
I'm smarter than all you bitches.
Megan's smarter than me and Nate combined.
So I think that's how the parties are dividing up, Chuck.
Cool. We'll start with Bubbling Cauldron people that are going up to see Charlene.
Was that the bookish route or the?
Nope. That's the alchemist.
The big dummies.
that's
On
the
a-
dumbest.
Warm Summer Night, she wrote Billy Bob Loves Charlene in John Deere Green.
Big.
So Bubbling Cauldron persons that are going up there. You head up to the northwestern part of the city, which is where Jose said that store would be. And to be called the Bubbling Cauldron, you would think, I mean, I don't know what you would instantly envision, but it's not really a rundown wooden shack or anything like that. It's actually, as you get closer to the western side of this city, the buildings become more and more sturdy and stone. Like this is where a lot of the richer people tend to live. And so the Bubbling Cauldron is a nice brick, looks like a 3-story building that it's in.
We'll go in and ask for Charlene.
Okay, you walk in the doors. You guys come in. You hear like a ding 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 ding. There's a little bell attached to the top of the door, so it makes noise when the door opens, which not a lot of these other places have. And a couple people look over in your direction. It's a very pungent smelling building, and there's like dry herbs hanging on all the on things. There's vials full of weird looking powders and viscous oozes in bowls, incense.
I got a D&D.
It's very affronting to the senses. Not bad, just strong. And there is a half elven woman behind a counter. She was actually sitting there strumming on a harp, and she looks up and she's like, "Ah, good day to you guys."
What half of her is elephant?
Elven,
Oh, that's okay.
not half elephant.
There's a
She's
half
got
elephant woman. This is Jane Merrick.
Half elven woman, and she stopped strumming on the harp, but she was strumming. She says, how can I assist you?
We're told, Charlene, that you might be able to provide us a list of the ingredients needed to create healing potions. And of those ingredients, what might be hard to come by that we might find in the wild Fae, the Feywild, the place that says Wild and Fae in the title.
That would be the Feywild, the plane of the Fays. It's where a lot of the elves lives, and the fairies and the pixies. It's a magical place. Healing potions and salves. Those are interesting items. Go ahead, make me a persuasion check, Kevin. Normally, I wouldn't just want to tell people how to make them because that could put me out of business. Because that's what I do. I make potions and salves. But sure, you'll need. And she starts to write down a list of a couple of different things. There's a type of powder that comes from grinding up the flowers of the petals of a flower. And there's
I make sure to take down all of the vital information that we would need to be able to identify this stuff.
There's
colors and places it grows, like on trees or on the ground or.
Okay. Make a survival check, Kevin.
Paul, why don't you help me with this?
Yeah, I can make the primary.
Okay. So between. Okay, yeah. So if he assisted, you'd have a nat 20. If you both rolled independently, he had a 23. Between your guys' roles and the descriptions that she's giving to you and the notes you're taking, you have a pretty good idea of what these plants would look like. Some of them are very rare to find, even on this in the continent that you've explored. Paul, you know some of them. Some of the stuff is a little bit more common down to the southern shores where you're you would still know your tribe. You just lost your ancestors. Some of the mushrooms and stuff are a little more common down in the south where your tribe was from, but even then they're not super common. It takes a bit to build these things properly. But you do get a pretty comprehensive list of the flowers and the mushrooms and the barks and the mosses that can be used to make these potions.
Could you write the list down? Writing is it's tough. You see the big claws. They don't work well with the pen.
I'm assuming Ferd's been writing this stuff down.
Yeah,
If you do come across these materials, I'll happily buy the materials from you, or craft the potions at a discount if you bring me back the things, the components.
Charlene, we do have one more.
What can you make with the body of an ancient hag? Witch?
Ancient hag witch.
Just never mind.
Sounds delicious. I'll have a ancient hag witch combo with a.
Were you coming up with something
Chowder.
else?
That's how we make all our chowder.
Yeah, did you have more to say to Sterling?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if she knew how to get to the Feywild, or where we might start looking for a way to get to the Feywild.
I mean, the only thing I know about the Feywild is that it is another plane. So you need to start by trying to find a gatestone, a portal, or someone that can take you there. I personally don't know any.
Thank you, Charlene.
We sold the spoon, didn't we?
Yes.
We sold the spoon, but as we leave, I'm going to use the communicator to talk to everybody at once.
Okay, but hang on, because they're doing things while you guys are doing this. So we'll hit that communication here in just a minute. So back to the other team, which went to the Arcanum, the book team, so to speak. You guys do find the library, essentially. It's actually built into the ground. Instead of most of the buildings are built upward, the Arcanum actually goes underground. It's about a three level basement and sub basement type building, and it's carved out of the earth. And the bookshelves are just kind of built into the walls. And there's a mixture of books and scrolls and just various tomes that are here. And as you reach the bottom of that's nice, Chris. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, as you walk into the Arcanum, there's a desk, and behind the desk is a man that is dressed in gray robes, and on either side of the desk is a soldier in plate mail. And he looks up and goes, what is your business in the Arcanum?
Well, we are here seeking information, if you happen to have any.
We have lots of information. What is it you're looking for?
Primarily, we're looking for any knowledge that might be accessible on entering and exiting the Feywild, and if there's nothing there, on any current living wizards of renown nearby or within a short journey.
So, just so I have my mind right, who's in book club? We have Chris, we have Megan. Was Nate?
Me.
And Nate.
Yeah.
Nate
Okay.
and Bill.
And Bill. All right, so the four of you in book club. Okay. she kind of, not she, he looks at you guys and he goes, okay. Our going rate for research is 10 gold per people per hour. We'll have our scribes bring you anything we feel will be of use to your research. Once you pay, these gentlemen will escort you to a table in the sub basement, and you can tell the scribes what it is you're looking for, and they'll bring you books, and tablets and scrolls. And when you leave, you'll finish paying for the time that you spend.
That sounds fair.
I will have to ask for 10 gold up front for the first hour, and then we'll collect the rest after.
What are we doing?
I will pay my 10 gold.
Was it 10 for everybody or 10 per person?
10 per person per hour.
To do what? For sex?
It's like a full service library.
Wow. That's a good,
Alright. I passed my 10 gold.
that's a good deal.
All right. So everyone spend your 10 gold. The two knights lead you guys down 2 stories into the sub basement. They set you at a table. They bring a candelabra over. They light it up so you guys have enough light. And then within about 2 minutes, you each have a scribe kind of near your side. And we'll start with Chris since you began speaking. The scribe says, "Yes. Where would you like to start, sir?"
To start, I would like to know if you have any books on ways to enter and exit the Feywild, and how one might go about finding those.
Most excellent. And he kind of takes off to go scour for that particular type of resource. Another scribe comes up to Megan. He goes, "Miss, what can I help you find?"
Do I not want the same thing as what Chris said?
You could ask for the wizard search.
Oh, okay. Wizard search, please.
Wizard search. Okay.
I clarify for what she's looking for. Looking for knowledge of wizards of great renown that either make Nephin their home or live within a short journey's time.
And he kind of moves away. And Nate, a gentleman walks up to you, says, what can I help you find?"
I would like to see any information about spells that might help us enter the Fey realm.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And he turns and walks away. And then Bill, one of the guys comes up to your desk.
Can you hear me? I just would like bestiary of the Fey realms.
Fey realm, bestiary. You got it.
No, not bestiality. Bestiary. and what are tasty to eat?
Wonderful. And he turns and he walks out. Well, not walks out. Walks away. I need 4 of you guys to make me investigation checks.
He just quit his job.
I don't want to roll a Schlegel.
Thanks, Megan.
Who just quit his job?
After talking to Bill, the librarian just quit.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm getting an error on roll 20. Unable to read or set data to the server.
I will read or set what?
Unable to read or set data from server. There may be a problem with your session. Try reloading to fix the issue.
Weird.
Is that Discord or?
No, it's the Roll20 window.
My Discord keeps getting in here.
If you do a Shift F, Control Shift R to do a full cache refresh, have them fix it.
It's reloading now.
Okay. So I'll start at the top, and you can roll your thing whenever you get in, if it'll let you, because I'm not going to force you to take the 7 that I rolled for you.
It'll probably beat what I got.
Megan, so nice. I'll let you keep my 7 then. The scribe comes back relatively quickly with a couple of tomes, which are basically the copies of the city's census, essentially.
What the hell?
What the fuck was that?
Is someone watching Gandalf again?
Oh, is that what that was?
So yeah, he brings you some tomes, which are essentially census counts for Nephin, and there's a little more detailed references in here. It talks about occupation and how long they've been in the city and family and things like that. But with your 26, you're able to just kind of almost mystically sort through all the bullshit and kind of drill right down to renowned wizards that live in, near, or have passed through Nephin. One of them, hold on one second, let me grab my notes.
Robert the White.
It is a Robert, absolutely.
And he likes sticks.
So there is a gentleman that has registered into the city as current of this year, and his name is Robert Reynolds, and he is a renowned arcane spell crafter. Seems like he does his best to create his own magics. As such, he is a purveyor and a collector of antiquities and might potentially have some powerful artifacts or knowledge that might be of use for anyone, for that matter. Another name that comes across your searching is a mage that was about 7 years back, but it was by the name of Grazit, Grazzt, and he wasn't well liked from what you've been able to read. Very standoffish, but there's just enough notes to give you the idea that he was a incredibly powerful conjurer. But that was about 7 years back. There's no future history of that. So you have a name, but not really too much more to go on for Grazit.
So just those two then?
Those are the most important two that you come across. You find other interesting tidbits of information that might come into play later, but those are the most important bits of information that you pull out of what you researched.
Understood. I'll wait to see what the rest of the team finds, or if they find anything, but I want to see Grazit.
Okay.
Chuck, random question. Is there a place in Roll20 where you can write notes down?
Let's see. I think if I make you a thing... I don't think there is by default. I'm sorry. That was a very bad way of describing it to me.
Okay.
Actually, no. On your character sheet, not the sheet itself, but if you go to the sheet, I think there's a place for you to add notes.
I have core, bio, and spells.
I added a journal called Notes that I think everybody can see and edit. And there's like description and notes that I think you can type into.
Yeah.
Oh, if you go to Phallus,
Phallus. If you go to Phallus,
it's getting late.
That's
I
what she
apologize.
said.
And you click on edit, like where you go to update your avatar, and you scroll down. There's a bio and info. You could take notes there.
Okay. True.
That's what I was looking for when I thought character sheet.
Take notes on my phallus.
Okay, so Bill, he comes back.
Yes, I got to go to. Right.
All right, Nate. We're going to be done here soon anyway, so I'll let you know what. You have to remind me what you searched for again, and I'll let you know what you found.
Good night.
So, Bill, you get a little bit of information about what creatures may dwell in the Feywild. The Feywild is the realm of the fairy. It's the realm of the elves, and as such, brownies, fairies, unicorns, pixies, lots of like I don't know how to explain it. It's all the fey creatures that are there. A lot of them enjoy making deals, and a lot of them make deals incredibly in their favor. There are a lot of tricksters in the Feywild. You're learning. Lots of mental manipulation happens in the Feywild.
Can I figure out what they like? What do they like to trade for?
It's a lot of them still deal with money. They do cross between the Feywild and the material realms are very closely connected. There are portals that exist between the two planes. They're generally hidden, but the Fey creatures usually know more about them than the non-Fey. So they do collect shiny things and money because they like to come here and mess with people, essentially.
Is there anything that I would think of that is shiny and super cheap?
Shiny and super cheap.
Yeah, you know.
Glass isn't too expensive. It's kind of shiny. If you can find like geodes or some sort of like an unrefined stone, potentially could be cheap and shiny.
Okay, I'll remember to ask Kevin what would be cheap and shiny because he's
Make a note of it so you can do that. Chris,
make a note of that.
you were looking for entrances to the Feywild, right?
Ways to enter and exit the Feywild.
Okay. 7 investigation. With the tombs you get, some of them are in languages you don't understand. Some of them read like Lord of the Rings novels, where you just so detailed and Old English, even for Old English, that they're hard to understand. Some of them is written like Game of Thrones, so it's really super hard to follow. But the gist of it is that there are spells that can transverse planes. That's a pretty obvious and blatant, like, hey, if you don't want to figure it out, just find a plane traveler and have them take you there. There are gate stones, which are enchanted items that allow transit from between the planes. And there are veiled portals where they can exist or not exist based upon conditions around them at any given time.
So exactly what the lady, or what we've been told before.
Essentially. And Nate, he really didn't find out anything with the 3. He figured out that you can make food out of mushrooms.
I thought he was looking for magic spells to get to the Feywild.
He learned that there's a spell called planar travel. And it's an arcane spell.
And that he can't use it.
It's a very advanced arcane spell. I'm sorry, it's called plane shift.
Planar travels when you go to southwest.com.
All in all, I'd say, Megan, you get all your information done in the first hour. Bill, you get yours done in the first hour. Chris, it takes you and Nate 2 hours to pull out what you got.
Well, there goes 10 more gold.
And then we'll go ahead and do a quick role play. About halfway through, Evan, who are you communicating with?
Everybody.
It's a 1-to-1.
I will take the time as I'm walking to say this to everybody.
Okay.
While I was chastising Shadow for being in Zelda's room, I did notice that she had a planar map hung on her wall as a piece of art.
What?
I will be trying to track her down to see if she can help us travel between the planes.
Cool.
Everyone does kind of get that from Go Balls during the conversation.
Go Balls?
Go Balls.
That's my Among Us name.
Hurry.
I saw a freaking Discord pop up that had your name on it right when I was talking about you, and so my mind hot wired Go Balls in.
Your mind hot wired Go Balls?
I didn't think I was that tired, but apparently my mind is. Megan, are you what did you decide you were not relating across?
I mean, I'll tell him anything that I've learned. I'm not gonna hoard my information.
Okay. But you wanted to dive deeper into that one dude, right?
Say that.
Seriously,
yes.
you just said that?
What, Chris?
Did you just say that? She wanted to dive deeper into that one dude?
Yes, I did.
Megan's freaky, man.
I would like to find. I want to find that grass guy.
Okay, awesome. I will send you at some point in time before next Monday. I will send you lots of information about the grass guy.
Very well.
Sweet.
Everybody needs to know about the grass man. How else are you gonna buy grass?
That's right. All right, so with a little bit of information gathered, an idea of what Jose needs you to do next, a shopping list essentially for what to look for, and potentially some good leads as to how to get to where you need to go. It is 10:40. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it 20 minutes early because my brain is not working well.
I hear you.
I owe some of you some information that I will get to you guys before next week.
Paul? Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Have you seen what's going on between me and Chuck in the fantasy game?
No, I haven't.
Fantasy.
Me and Chuck are both going to outscore everybody this week. And we're foot racing it to the end of this game tonight to see who wins.
What?